Hello folks, quick walkies around Fair Village Woods, yes, quick walkies, indeed, that was more of the Kentish accent there, or Londonish, yeah, yeah, anyhow, yes, so the one today, well, what was on my mind earlier was talking about foundation, and the fact the foundation of the church, well the foundation stone was Peter, but Peter blew hot and cold. So therefore that was always going to be a bit of a risky foundation, wasn't it really? But what did that foundation lead to? It led to a church that's basically, gone now. It didn't last because it was still a foundation upon humans. And again, humans have proved once again. They proved it in the Old Testament, they proved it in the New, they proved it in now. That when God says, over to you, humans say, oh, we can't. Oh, we just can't. We're just not able. Yeah, and so, yeah. That's the situation that we're now in. And God says, okay. That was always going to be the plan anyway, because, yeah. So now, what's the foundation going to be? Foundation is going to be Father. So the original foundation, Peter, fell. That's why we have the church that is what it is. This foundation can't fall because this foundation is Father. If it's Father, it can't fall because if we are of Him, then everything is about Him. Yeah, we finally get accountability because if we're not willing to be accountable to each other, we are going to be accountable to Him. Yes? Of course, He's not going to let us get away with not being accountable. He's going to give us a kick up the butt when we need it, which I welcome. Fantastically. I've had one situation where I was accountable. I'll go back to that later. But still talking about foundation, yeah. So that foundation that that's being built now by Father, that won't fall. It can't fall. It's Him. Straight away, this is probably the person with a dodgy car park. Yeah. Little doggies there. Two little dogs, quite young. That's the youngest.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's a torag.
See you, little baby. Hello,
She
baby.
might be no jumping. Come on.
Don't worry about it. Jumping is natural.
Oh, she's a terror.
Don't worry about that. Enjoy. Now, as I say, jumping for dogs is natural. They want to come up and say hello. It's being friendly. It's what they would do. It's the puppy nature. But it's the friendly nature. It's them saying hello. They want to give you a kiss. Chewy does it all the time. Yeah, Rob is 6'5". About 6'5", I think Rob is. And yet Chewy can jump up and kiss him right in the mouth. Now that's impressive. I don't tell him off for that. I said, good, well done, Chewy. Good jump. Yeah. Anyway, going back to the point, yes. So the foundation with Father can't fall because it's with Him. Because He can't fall. It's not saying, okay, that sort of that thing can still fall. Well, it can't, because it means that God Himself has to fall. So that can't fall, can it? Which is cool. That's good. Accountability, yes, as I said, fantastic. But everybody gets led and guided by Father. Another person with dogs, straight away. Jesus. We did have some rain earlier, so I suppose that's the point. Stoppage of rain, everyone runs out. Yeah, pain in the arse though, you've been trying to do a talk. Hello pup, how you doing? Hiya. Well, as I say, because if you're in relationship with Father, you get led and you get guided by Him. That's what I said about accountability. If you start going on the wrong path, He's going to say, excuse me, over there. Over there. Go on, over there. Yeah. So you're going to have people, finally, as they're supposed to be, because they're being led and guided by Father rather than by themselves or by a church of people that are being led and guided by the pastor, and the pastor's being led and guided by the church of people. So they're all leading and guiding each other. Yeah? Isn't that the case? Yeah. Of course they will say they're being led and guided by the Holy Spirit. Where's the evidence? With the church, the reason why I can say comfortably that the church has fallen, that the foundation that Peter was, the foundation stone of, has fallen, that has gone now, is because, as I said, you have to look at the evidence. What is the evidence? Has the church, at any point in time, I'm talking about generalised, I'm not talking about individual churches, because you're going to have individual churches occasionally who are going to show signs. But I'm saying, as a whole, has the church shown by their life, by the lives of their people, that we have a loving, giving, caring Father? I think the answer is quite obviously no. And if the answer quite obviously is no, then it's failed miserably. Because the whole understanding of the church was wrong. Because this whole point that, this is what I was told when I first became a Christian, that you have to carry your cross. It's like, excuse me, no we don't. Only one had to carry a cross, and that was Yeshua. There was a purpose to him carrying a cross. Unless there's a purpose for you carrying something, it's not of God. If it's not of God, it's only going to weigh you down. And I suppose people have been weighed down by crap that they weren't supposed to carry. But the church, as I said before, the church has shown no desire to help people to deal with the crap that they had before they became a Christian. That's because they've seen all that as that's your cross to bear. That weight. It's just bullshit. It was never their cross to bear. It's all down to lazy church where they just don't want to actually spend the time trying to deal with stuff. They've got life to get on with. But that is the reality, is that people have got life to get on with. That's the way they've seen it. They've not understood. You gave your life. If you gave your life, you do not have life to get on with. You had the Father's will to get on with. That's the point. You gave your life to him. That's what you claim. But moving forwards, that's the point. This is what we're going to be doing. And we are going to be dealing with stuff. And we are going to be helping people to be free of that stuff, so they don't have to carry stuff that they shouldn't be carrying. When I talk about all that stuff, I do get really angry. Because, people have been carrying stuff they never had to carry. And it was all down to stupidity, basically. Stupidity in the church. And as I say, this lack of accountability, it's led us down the path we're on. And that was man's decision. So, can anyone blame God for not reviving the church led by man, that man led the church into this direction? No. Look, Father finally, basically, Father knew we couldn't pay for our sin, right? He knew that we couldn't pay for our sin. So therefore, the plan was, let us try. Right? Help us to understand that we can't pay for our sins, so therefore we need God to do it for us. So he did it. He sent his son. Then basically God said, okay, it is finished, as in, my job is done, over to you. To basically say to the people, okay, you do think you're capable of so much that you don't think you need God. So let's see if you can build a relationship with God through all this understanding that I've already given you. And no, they couldn't. So now God said, yeah, of course, I've got to do it. Okay. Yeah. Look, and I fully understand that my situation, yeah, when my dogs were taken, yeah, it looked very much at that point in time, it did for about a day, even to me, that my life certainly wasn't showing that we have a loving, you know, giving, graceful, merciful, incredible Father. You see, but after a day, I started to realise, hold it, I've just been doing videos about finding your peace and retaining your peace. And while all this is going on, I'm at peace. I'm peaceful. I don't have any panic. I had a bit of the stages of grief. Yeah. Heart smashing to pieces, you're going to have a bit of that. There was a bit of that, but generally speaking, yeah. Well, and then of course, the standing, yeah, me believing that I'm going to finally have that incredible love that I've always wanted in a wife. Only now I understand, actually, I think Father was saying I'm going to have that, but in relationship with him. Because, yeah, that's what I think it probably is about, or was about. It's like, okay, if that's the case, then okay. But, yeah, could it be seen in a bad way? Yes, it could. And there will be people that choose to see it in a bad way. Choose to see that I stood on something of God and it didn't work, so God obviously doesn't love me. God obviously doesn't exist. I'm going back this way because there's a noisy path over there. So, yeah. But I say, however, yeah, I'm now completely at peace with things. I experience joy now compared to I didn't before. Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to the point where, a friend of mine at Connie the other day, he was tired. And he said, I'm going to have to put the phone down because you're way too happy. Yeah. So that's God doing it, not me. So therefore that's evidence that we do have. So at the moment, I'm at peace with the situation in my life. Does it have everything that I want? Or everything that I hope for? No. No, and I keep on having discussions with God about that. Yeah, but in the end, I have to trust that if that's His will, it's going to happen, isn't it? Really? Yeah. But it is, as I say, yeah. I get the feeling that now we are going to have that, where Father is going to be the pastor for every person. Father is going to be the teacher for every person. Father is going to be that minister that we've always wanted and always needed. That we are going to have that accountability. Because to a certain degree, in God, we have Father, we have brother, we have helper. So we have a family, don't we? Yeah. So for anyone who's had not that good a family, there you go, you've got a family now. Certainly once you start having a relationship with Father, it means that Yeshua is what? You're a big brother. Because if you are a son, little s, he is a son, big S, then he is your bigger brother. Isn't he? He's your big brother. He's all of us. He's our big brother. Because if we are now part of the family, then that's what he is. So, yeah, we're heading into something that's going to be absolutely beautiful, I think, for people. Yeah, and also for those people that aren't saved, yeah, they're going to come into something which is not a church, which is, even the best of churches can seem a little bit judgy. When you're going through stuff, even the best of churches can seem a bit judgy. And for most people, love can seem quite painful when you're going through stuff. And if you're of the world and you've not really experienced love, love can be quite painful. But love from the Father, he knows exactly how much to give. And then the next day, give a little bit more. Next day, give a little bit more. Say, the perfect pastor. And the perfect teacher, because he knows exactly what we need. The perfect one to train us, because he knows exactly what we're going for, that we're going towards. He knows what ministry we're supposed to have, and exactly the tools that we're going to need for that ministry, for the people that we're going to deal with. There's no training establishment upon this earth that can do that. So, yeah. I mean, to me, it's incredibly exciting. Yeah. Although, yeah. Can I admit that it's a bit sort of concerning because, yeah, even right now, am I seeing absolute evidence of all this stuff myself in my life right now? No. No. Do I believe that it's going to happen? Well, as I said about even God being a giving Father. Yeah, we see people in the church in very difficult relationships, very difficult jobs. Driving around old bangers that can barely make it, and they're stressing about their car needs to pass an MOT. And I was there, wasn't I? Yeah, but we have a God that can say, don't worry about that. You want a car? I'll give you a car. What kind do you want? What can your faith see? What is the levels that your faith can see? Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, is my life there yet, where it's actually showing that? Not yet. But I hope it will be soon. I don't hope it will be so that my life will be better. I hope it will be so I can show people that, yeah, this is God. This is the way God is doing things now. This is what our life is supposed to be like. I'm not saying it because I'm something incredible or something special, because it's not me that's doing it, it's Father that's doing it. And saying, Father delivered this, Father gave me that. Yeah, Father wants me to be a better representative of Him. So He gives me these beautiful things. Because it shows that He loves me. It shows the world that He loves me. I already know. This only, is, the cream on top, basically. Yeah. Well, the extra hundreds and thousands of sprinkles on top. Just a bit extra. But it's always nice, isn't it, to have a bit extra? Yeah. And that's it, that's the point. Yeah, any blessings you get are not really for you. They're for people to see God working in your life. That's the whole point of it. And so, yeah, do I want to see God working in my life? Of course. Yes. Yeah, that's the whole point of doing these videos. That's the whole point of talking about the things that are bad sometimes, is that when the things are good, people can see the difference. People can see God working. And that's, yeah. So if you go back to early September, or even before that, middle of August, and watch some of the videos around that time, listen to those, and then listen to now, you'll see quite a difference. Yeah. But that's the point. If I just put the stuff on that was great, you wouldn't see God working, would you? If I just appeared all the time as being fantastic and wonderful, you wouldn't see that. And so many in church are like that. I talked about the good little Christians. That's what they're like. They want to show themselves as being wonderful and kind and considerate and loving all the time, even when they're going through crap. They want to show the world that life is fantastic. God is great. That's fake though, really. Because people are never going to see God work in your life if people always think your life is fantastic. That's the thing about Peter. Peter was hot and cold, but people always saw when he was hot because they had the example of when he was cold. So therefore, Peter stood out. Look at most of the other people, the other disciples. very difficult to actually remember their names because they're not really mentioned, are they? Because they didn't do anything. They didn't stand out. Well, at least that's the impression we get, isn't it? But Peter stood out. Why? Because at least he was willing to fail. Yeah? He was willing to show weakness. He was willing... I've always seen Peter as a cocky little brat, basically, who wanted to be the centre of attention. Yeah. That's one way. Another way is, yeah, that he was willing to, be vulnerable. He said, when the Lord was coming on the water, if it's you, tell me to come and I come. He went to walk on the sea, knowing that he could possibly drown. Right? Now, for a while, he stood in faith, and that would have been glorious. Yeah, he would have loved that. But then when he looked down, as I say, you focus on the solution. The solution at that point was Yeshua. When he was focused on Yeshua, he could walk on the water. When he focused on the situation around him, being the sea and the waves, he started to sink. Yeah? It all makes sense, doesn't it, then? Yeah? So, yeah. It's important to show failure, because then when you have those times which are beautiful, then it shows God, and that's the point. Yeah, we need to see God doing marvellous, incredible things in people's lives. Yeah, that's important. And so, yeah. So, am I there yet where I can see that? No, I'm not. Not yet. Although there have been bits. Carl went for MOT, didn't it? Fine. Christy. That was good. Carl went through MOT, that was brilliant. Yeah, because certainly I could never have afforded to get a car if that car hadn't gone through MOT. I'd have been knackered. I wouldn't be doing videos, I wouldn't be walking all up here to do videos. Yeah, or going to the other places to go to. I can moan as much as I want about the fuel prices, but the reality is at least I've got a car I can use. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it does. It matters so much to me that we can have that situation of seeing God work in people's lives and just basically having people see that we have this incredible, loving, giving, graceful, merciful Father, and that our lives are reflecting that. That's what I said with regards to the church. I'm not trying to judge the church by pointing out the church hasn't done that, because so far has my life done that? Not really. Certainly the first 27 years of my life as a Christian, did it do that? No. No, it didn't. But on my descriptions of my videos, you can see that it says that I became a Christian on the 22nd of July. I'm going to change that now. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to have... Ooh, it's tempting, because that is tomorrow, actually. So should I have one nice birthday as a Christian? 28 tomorrow. Should I count that? Because really, I'm thinking about changing it, because really what matters is I become a son on the 26th of June, 2022. So really, 26th of June is now my birthday. Yeah, and I've missed it now. No cake. So I think I will have tomorrow's, just so I can have cake. Yeah, because otherwise I miss cake, won't I? So, okay. Tomorrow I'll do that, but that'll be the last one. Then I will remove that from the description and change it to the 26th of June. That makes sense, because that time, so 27 years, was my life showing God? No, not really. Will it hopefully going forward? Yes. At least that's the hope, isn't it? Yeah. So, yeah. I should change that. I won't change it today. I'll change it tomorrow. Yeah. After cake. Yes. Might even have jelly and ice cream. We'll see. But definitely cake. Right, so there you go. Hopefully this in some way has helped. Right, you take care. God bless. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.